Hey viewers, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be explaining the topic angles. What is an angle? First, we need to know where the name angle comes from. The word angle comes from a Latin word named angulus, meaning what? It means corners. So angle is from the Latin word angulus, meaning corner. Now, what is an angle all about? Well, an angle is formed when two straight lines meet at a common end point, just like we can see in this pictorial illustration. All right. Now, I'm going to be explaining this pictorial illustration to you. This is the common end point that an angle means. At this point, O is the common end point, and it is referred to as the vertex of the angle. This point is referred to as the vertex. Now, point OA is referred to as the arm of the angle. This angle has two arms, point OA and OB. These are the arms, the two arms. Now, the interior is referred to as angle. All right, good. Now, let's take a look at the different types of angles that we have in geometry. The different types of angles that we have in geometry. Okay, good. Now, here are the different types of angles that we have in geometry. I'm going to be showing you the different types of angles that we have in geometry. Good. Now, here are the different types of angles that we have in geometry. First, we have what is called the 0-degree angle, like we can see in this picture. As the name depicts, 0 degree or 0 radian. 0 means nothing. So when we say 0 degree, it means it is an angle that does not form a vertex. It measures 0 degree. And this kind of angle is formed when both the rays or the arms of the angle, they are pointing towards the same direction. Like we can see, you can see that the ray and the arms, this arrow here, they are pointing towards, they are going upwardly. They are pointing towards the same direction. So this is a very good example of 0-degree angle. And this is how 0-degree angle looks like. It's at this point, A equals to 0 degrees. A equals to nothing. Good. Now let's move to the next type of angle, which is an acute angle. An acute angle looks like this, like we can see in this picture. This is a typical example of how an acute angle looks like. You can see in an acute angle, the two arms are closer to each other. They are not closed up, but they are closer to each other. Now, an acute angle measure greater than 0 degree. It is greater than 0 degree, but less than 90 degrees. At this point, angle A is lesser than 90 degrees, but greater than 0 degree. I hope we get that. Good. That takes us to the next type of angle, which is right angle. This is how a right angle looks like. And a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Or let me say that a right angle equals to 90 degrees. Okay. It is also known as a quarter turn because it is greater, it is quarter of a full turn. Just a quarter of a full turn. Good. So a right angle is equals to 90 degrees. Now let's move to the next type of angle, and that is the obtuse angle. This is how an obtuse angle looks like. An obtuse angle is always larger than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. In other words, we can say an obtuse angle lies between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So you can see here that this obtuse angle is wider than the acute angle. Okay, so that differentiates an obtuse angle from an acute angle. Good. Now that takes us to the next type of angle, which is a straight angle. What is a straight angle? I like to call it angle on a straight line, or most students like to call it angle on a straight line. Well, a straight angle is equals to 180 degrees. Please, let's try to differentiate between a degree angle and a straight angle. For a 0 degree angle, we can see that the angles are pointing towards the same direction. There is no angle formed at this 0 degree angle. Rather, the angles are pointing towards the same direction. No angle is formed. Do we get that? Good. But for a straight angle, we can see here that an angle is formed at this point. This is a straight angle. An angle is formed at this point A. Okay, good. So that is the difference between the two. A straight angle or angle on a straight line is equals to 180 degrees, while a 0 degree angle is equals to 0. All right, good. Quickly, let's move to the next type of angle, which is the reflex angle. This is a reflex angle here. This is how it looks like. Good. This is how a reflex angle looks like. So what is a reflex angle? Well, a reflex angle is more than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. Do we get that? Good. So a reflex angle is more than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. So we can say that an example of a reflex angle is 270 degrees. Is an example of a reflex angle. All right. So that's what a reflex angle is all about. Also note that for every acute and obtuse angle, there is a reflex angle. Do we get that? For every acute and obtuse angle, there is a reflex angle. Good. Now, quickly, let's move to the next type of angle, which is the full rotation angle. This is a full rotation angle, or we can call it angle 360 degree. Here is a practical example of what a full rotation angle is all about. It's like it's when you're turning around. If you stand at a point and you turn around until you point in the same direction. It is called a full rotation angle. All right. So we can also say that a full rotation angle can also be called a round angle or a perigon. A perigon is an angle that is equal to radian, corresponding to the central angle of an entire circle. So if you don't want to call it a full rotation angle, you can refer to it as a perigon, or you can refer to it as angle 360 degrees. Also, 4 right angle can also be equals to a full rotation angle. Remember, this is a right angle. 4 of this right angle equals to 3 a full rotation angle, which implies that if you multiply 90 by 4, you will get 360 degrees. Or if you add up 490, 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, you're going to arrive at a full rotation angle. Or in other words, you can say 2 straight angles equals to a full rotation angle. Remember, 2 straight angles or angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. So a full straight angle can also be equals to a full rotation angle. So that settles that. Now let's go to the next type of angle beneath here. We have the opposite angle. This is an example of how an opposite angle look like. Well, an opposite angle are opposite to each other. Like you can see, angle A is facing angle B, which implies that if angle A is 60 degrees, angle B will also be 60 degrees, right? So A is always equals to B for opposite angles. Do we get that? So we can also refer to opposite angles as vertically or vertical angles because the two angles, they share the same corners. Another word for opposite angle can also be called congruent angle. Congruent angle. If you don't want to call vertical angles, we can call it congruent angle or vertically opposite angle, meaning that they are equal or have the same measurements. Do we get that? Good. Now let's move to the next type of angle, which is the complementary angle. A complementary angle is when the sum of, this is how a complementary angle looks like. This is it. Good. This is a complementary angle. So it is when the sum of two angles is 90 degrees, which implies that the sum, if you add up A plus B, you must get 90 degrees. Any answer you get that is more than 90 degrees or less than 90 degrees, it is not a complementary angle. The sum of A and B must be equals to 90 degrees. Do we get that? Good. Now the next type of angle is what we call the adjacent angle. Just like we can see in this picture, this is how an adjacent or adjacent angle looks like. What is an adjacent angle? Two angles are adjacent to each other if they have a common side. Do we get that? If they have a common side and a common vertex, just like we can see here, then we say those two angles are adjacent to each other. Or in other words, we can say adjacent angles are directly next to each other. They don't overlap. Do we get that? They do not what? Overlap. So the sum of two adjacent angles is equal to the sum of each of the two angles. All right. Finally, we have the last type of angle, which is called the supplementary angle. This is how a supplementary angle looks like. All right. So here we are told that the two sum of a supplementary angle, they are always equals to 180 degrees. All right. So they are angles that sum up to 180 degrees, which implies that, for example, if angle A is 130 degrees, what do you think angle B will be? Of course, you are going to be subtracting 130 degrees from 180, and that will be 50 degrees. So when you add up 130 to 50, it must sum up to be 180 degrees. Any other answer apart from that, it is not a supplementary angle. So that is that about a supplementary angle. So that's where we are going to be stopping today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope you found this class to be very educative. So in my next class, or in my next video, we are going to be solving some questions on the different types of angle, right? So we'll be working that out on the board. Please, if you find my video to be educative, if you have learned one or two things from this video, please do not forget to click on the like button. Do not forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified in order to view my next video. Until then, enjoy your holiday and see you in my next class. Bye-bye.